So without trying to be too dark too soon in the interview, I had a very good friend of mine pass away, unfortunately, and he got ill at 17 and passed away at 19, and all he ever wanted to do was be a musician, and it'd be a fucking shame if I left this planet not doing what I want to do. There's nothing holding you back except yourself, in my opinion. Schlimbum Records. So we set it up because in our first year as a band, we signed with a really small indie label. And we found that they were so shit and so far up their own arses in thinking about money rather than anything else. At that point, we hadn't even recorded anything particularly. It gave us such a bad taste in our mouths that we ended up coming out of that experience. We did one single that was supposed to come out on their label. We recorded it with our own fucking money. And then it never went anywhere. They didn't release it and blah, blah, blah. So we ended up re-releasing it ourselves. And we basically just founded the company because no one else was doing the fucking work properly. And if you want something done, you do it yourself. With the label, we never have any sort of, we don't have any record sale targets to hit. We don't have any, with the contracts that we give artists, we never say you're going to make this many albums in this many years. We just want to enable people to do what they want to fucking do. That's literally all that comes out. It sounds really naive, it sounds juvenile, and at some point somebody's going to turn around and say, well, that's not a very good business model. At the end of the day, I don't give a fuck if it's not a good business model. We've managed to do it for this much time. The record label's been around for 5 or 6 years, and we may not turn a huge profit, but at least we get to fucking do what we want to do. Well, so if you listen to Brain Ape, then we're quite similarly, our first and second album, although they sound different, have some similarities, but we've made, as a small group of people, we've made so many different genres of music that it feels really contrived to say that this one's a punk album and this one's a no. It ended up being, it's also strange, as quite a few times when you get interviewed and the first question is, what type of music do you play? And it's just like, I don't know, man, I just fucking make music. So it became, at first it started with a joke with myself, and then it just sort of became a thing when people asked us, we were like, I don't know, we play scratch rock, because there is no definition to it, so it can be literally whatever the fuck we want. And then as the record label went on, a couple of years ago I released an electronic album, and so people were like, whoa, this is really different to what you do. But to me, it didn't feel different at all. We went into the recording sessions the same way we would with anything else, and we were just trying to make music that we like. So then it translated to scratch rock can be anything you fucking want it to be, and it doesn't really matter. It's, as you say, it's like an anti-genre. It doesn't actually fucking mean anything, but it's nice to be able to say that when someone goes, "What kind of music do you make?" Scratch rock. Because that's the other thing, when the record label started taking off and other people wanted to be on board, there's no way we're going to set any boundaries for any artists on our label. So we label them all as scratch rock in a way to say that, like, it doesn't fucking matter what you do, as long as you're doing it for the reasons you want to, we're happy with that. Someone who's never heard of it before, I'd say we're just any old fucking band from London. If you want to come for a good time and some loud music, then we're a pretty good bet. But for me personally, it's a lot of who I am, and it's a lot of what I do. There isn't a day that I don't do either think about or do some work for Brain Ape. It's very much who I am, and what's been lovely is it's not just me. Soul is an incredibly big part of it. The band wouldn't be anywhere without him. We founded the band together, and it's been a huge bonding experience between friends, and we've ended up making a friendship into something productive, which is something quite wonderful. And the fact that we've had so many drummers over the years and incorporated people, we've been able to share that with people, has been really, really nice. And now we've had a new drummer since January, and Jamie's really starting to gel within the three of us. I can't really justify why I do what I do. What's important to me, as I was saying at the beginning of this interview, is I probably don't have much time left on this planet. Even if it's another 60 years, I don't see that as much time. I want to make sure that I don't sit on my deathbed and wish I had done something that I had the opportunity to do but didn't do.